Hello. Thank you for coming to my channel. So, today we're going to talk about praying for a husband. So, I went to a women's group and they were giving a spiritual class, and the woman giving the class was talking about praying for a husband because, God's not in the dating business or the relationship business or the boyfriend business or companion get big business. He's into, oh, you want a husband? Oh, you want a wife? So you pray for that. So she went ahead and told us how she prayed for her husband, what she prayed for, and how she got a husband. So I was like, okay, that worked for you. Great. I was very skeptical. However, I did do it. So I prayed. I did what she said. I prayed. I prayed for her husband. She said, and every detail, everything you want, you know, pray about it. And it's interesting. Like my prayer at first was kind of short, when I was praying for him, and it's the basic honesty, loyalty, faithful, compassionate, kind, gentle, and then you realize you start adding, tall, 6'1" at least, chocolate, um, and I wanted his heart. I wanted his heart to melt every time he saw me. I wanted every time he laid eyes on me for his heart to just melt and be so filled with love. So I wanted him to be neat. I didn't want him to be sloppy. I wanted him to have good hygiene. Yes, you need to include these things because you know what? Every time you picking up behind somebody, you're not going to be happy. So include this. Include that you want him to be neat. Include that you want him to smell good. Yes, that's the thing. Some people don't smell good. So all these things I would add. My husband smells wonderful and he is neat. Okay, so I said neat and he was anal. Like very, like you move something, he knows it's been moved. Not that much. I didn't want it that much, but hey, I did ask for it, so I did get it. All right. So when I prayed, I said, God, and I want you to pick him because the ones I've been picking, haven't been good. So I need you to pick him for me. And okay, so the way I'll know that you picked him is because it's the only way I'm going to know is because it's between me and you. He's going to know things that are between just me and you. Right? So I go ahead. I have a friend that I've been talking to for a long time. We met on like one of these dating sites. We went out one time to Olive Garden. However, we stayed friends for a long. When I say friends, like we just text. So he would text me, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, how you feeling, how you doing. He knew I had a mess. I was in a relationship. He knew that. I was in a relationship for 3 years, and he still stayed my friend. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Mother's Day, how you feeling? Then I broke up with the person I was with, and I was going through things, growing spiritually and everything, and he was he bought a new house, and he was sharing the work he's been doing, and we talk back and forth, friends though. But I knew he liked me, you know. At this time, I'm growing spiritually. I'm not even thinking about men. I'm thinking my relationship days are behind me. I'm going to continue doing volunteer work, doing work in the church, just and just taking care of my kids and my family. I moved in my mom's house. My mom is getting older. My parents were getting older, so I'm just gonna help them out as much as I can and do my ministry. That's it. I was gonna devote my life to family and ministry. So I'm not thinking about it. But I did pray. I'm still praying, because you gotta be consistent. You gotta still pray for this husband. Don't pray one time and say, I prayed and it didn't work. But you wasn't serious. You're not serious. You pray one time. Oh, that's it? That's all you thought it was supposed to take? Well, God knows that's not what you really want then. You're not ready for a husband then. Because if you really wanted it, you would pray every night for him. And when he sees that you continually ask him and you continually pray, he realizes, you know what? She really wants this. So I continually prayed. And as time went on, like I said, my list got longer. I started adding all kinds of things to it. This, that, like I said, I continued praying. So I came back from my missionary trip. I was exhausted. And my friend, he tells me, why don't you come to Florida? So I realized that he really has these feelings for me. And he has the wrong idea of me. Because, like when we're friends, I'm not the same person I am in a relationship that I am with a friend. So friends, you could hit me up once in a while. Hey, everything is good. But if we're in a relationship, you can't hit me up once in a while. That's not going to work for me. So I tried to explain to him that you think you really like me. You think that, but yeah, I'm not the person you think I am. So I felt like, in my heart, he had the wrong idea and I needed to help him move on because I felt he was stagnant. Because earlier, like I said, when I was in a relationship, he made a comment like he would wait for me. So 3 years later, he was still waiting. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, it wasn't that he wasn't with people. He was with people, but he just wasn't in a relationship. So I said, let me go over there. Let him get to see me. Let him get to move on and just realize that, listen, we're just going to be friends. Mind you, celibate. I come down to Florida. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I said that right. Come down to Florida. And now he picks me up from the airport. I fall asleep in the car because I was exhausted. Remember, I just came back from a missionary trip. His mom was in the car. And I was like, what a horrible first impression. I literally came in the car and I think like 10 minutes later, I was out sleeping in the passenger seat. So I get to his house. We start talking. Nothing. He has a guest room. I sleep in the guest room. And he has his own room. And next day we went out. We went to the botanical garden. Over here is Shalom. It was really nice. Had a really nice time. We went to different places. He would show me around. We went out to eat. And everything was nice. So that night, it's probably night number 2, he comes to me it was probably like 8 o'clock. I have my Bible. And he comes over and he's like, what do you want to do tomorrow? And I'm like, hey, whatever you want to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Whatever you want to do. So he goes ahead and he tells me, I tell him, just throw it out there. You want to pray with me? He's like, sure. He runs to his room. He gets this big Bible that he has. It has all the dividers in there. It's broken down, all the different verses, like all the different books that are on there. I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, I have this little Bible that I have that I use because it's easy to carry. Of course, it's a pain in the neck to read because the writing's small. So I was really impressed. So when he opens the Bible, he has a card in there. And in the card, it had all these different Bible verses on it. It had like over 10. When I looked at the Bible verses, why were they the same verses that I had highlighted in my book? So my book, I was able to open up, and his Bible verses that he had, I had them highlighted in my book. So out of 10, like 7 of them were highlighted. And I knew. I said, it's you. He looks at me, what? I said, it's you. It is you. And it was like, when I tell you, like, all of a sudden, I saw him in a total different light. Like God removed the blinders off my eyes and I could see him. I could see him. Like I never saw him that way before, but all of a sudden I did. And it just grew from then. So remember when I don't know if you saw a previous video, how I said I gave up my apartment, I gave up my furniture, I gave up, just to grow spiritually, I gave up all these things, right? I was living in Jersey. I had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo with a den and a balcony. Beautiful. Gave that up, right? With 1 parking space. And then I met my husband. And let me go back. I moved into my mom's house. My mother had a 2-bedroom house with 1 bathroom. So it's a small little senior citizen house. So it's the bedrooms are close together. Anyway, it's just small room. It was a small room I was living in. So then my husband has a 4-bedroom house. 4-bedroom house, 2.5 bathrooms, a swimming pool, and it's in Florida. Big backyard. So see how God works? He's so faithful. I gave up the things that I gave up. He gave me a husband, and the things I gave up, he gave them back to me and more. He also took me out of the cold and put me in the warm weather. I know when me and my husband got together, people thought, they just met each other so soon. There was no relationship. How did they get married? And we're going on 5 years. And he always reminds me, to death do us part. Like, I'm like, is that a threat? Like, it sounds like a threat. I don't know if you're trying to be romantic, but to death do us part. But it's been good. Like, I've been married 3 times. So, like, this has been the easiest relationship I've had. He's kind, he's understanding, he's patient, he's supportive. We fight. We get into our attitudes here and there because we're human. But it's good. And I'm happy. So, the moral of this is basically, if you want a husband, if you want a wife, pray for her. Pray for him. And be specific. And be consistent. And be detailed. And God will hear you. Okay, so till next time.